After World War II, light tanks had a bit of an image problem. They couldn't hang with the heavyweight big boys, as they lacked the armor and the firepower, and their speed and low production cost didn't always justify the risks. But a few earned their keep. The American M24 Chaffey, for instance, proved itself as a solid scout, so the decision was made to build something even better on its bones. The military's main gripe was the gun of the Chaffey. Sure, it had a stabilizer and decent handling, but it just didn't hit hard enough. And no surprise there, the Chaffey was packing basically the same cannon as the ancient M3 Lee. A next-gen reconnaissance vehicle definitely needed more teeth. American master armorers started with the 76mm gun that was carried by the Shermans. Engineers kept the caliber, kept what worked, but made it more powerful, and figured out how to handle the recoil, which was just too strong for a light tank. Development started slowly at first. With the war over, the US slashed defense spending. Things only picked up after the US found itself embroiled in yet another conflict, the one on the Korean Peninsula, when the Army urgently needed tanks in large numbers, prompting a surge in funding. Yet, the M41 still missed the Korean War. Rushed production and shifting requirements meant the first major batch didn't reach troops until mid-1952. The Bulldog's first real combat came in 1961, during the Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba. US-backed exiles who opposed Fidel Castro's revolution hit the Cuban coast, trying to gain a foothold there, and M41s went with them. The new light tanks handled Castro's T-34-85s well enough, but government forces moved fast and crushed the beachhead in days. The Bulldog's true proving ground, however, was Vietnam. By the mid-1960s, US advisors were rebuilding South Vietnamese armor units, swapping out obsolete M24s for brand new M41 A3s. Soon, these vehicles were supporting infantry in urban fighting, in Da Nang in 1966, for instance. Later came worse, with Bulldogs facing much bigger challenges, including campaigns in the early 1970s, where they sometimes ran into T-54s and Type 59s. With armor that thin, there was no room for mistakes, but that rapid-fire 76mm gun and the superior mobility gave them a fighting chance. Heavier M48 Pattons eventually took over, but Bulldogs remained a key asset in South Vietnamese units until the very end of the war. In War Thunder, the M41 Walker Bulldog appears at mid-tier ranks. Compared to the Chaffey, it's noticeably faster, hitting 72 kilometers an hour forward and 19 kilometers an hour in reverse. This agility lets it claim good firing positions early, while 8 times optics, which is rather strong for ranks 3 and 4, help press the advantage. Thanks to its user-friendly gun handling, the Bulldog can outduel Soviet and even German tanks at medium ranges. Speaking of the gun, it's a big step up from the Chaffey. This 76mm beauty reloads in under 7 seconds with a skilled crew and has access to very potent rounds. The M339 solid shot works for side shots on mediums and heavies. The M331A2 APDS goes through a King Tiger's turret front or a Panther's hull. Keep in mind that this APDS is better at range but does less damage overall, so keep it around as a secondary option. The Bulldog rewards caution above all. Stick with allies and make heavy use of active scouting. Hit heavies in their weak spots with APDS rounds and lighter foes in the center mass from afar. Make full use of the gun's excellent depression angles, especially on uneven terrain. It's also very important to note that different Bulldog variants vary in ammo loadouts. The Japanese and US versions are nearly identical, but the German one skips the solid shot, offering only M319 rounds, M331A2 discarding Sabo rounds, and heat. The latter reliably penetrates most Rank 4 and even some Rank 5 vehicles, including heavies like the US T-32 or the British Tortoise. But you still need to aim for weak spots or flat armor. By contrast, China's early M41A3 only has solid shot, so it's more of a flanker. At the same time, its lower battle rating means you can play considerably more aggressively. The most modern variant, the M41D, packs heat and APF SDS rounds. On paper, it's very tempting for its rank: laser rangefinder, gunner's thermals, high penetration rounds with flat, predictable trajectory. But the damage of your new fancy shells is quite modest, often requiring 2 or more hits, preventing the M41D from being perfect. Factor in average mobility, no gun stabilizer, and iffy armor, and our advice for it is to stick to positional engagements. The M41 was America's first post-war light tank, cutting edge in some ways, a compromise in others. It never earned major fame in big wars, but in War Thunder, the Walker Bulldog has carved out a solid reputation as a reliable, effective vehicle. Which Bulldog variant do you prefer? Share your experiences in the comments down below.